Sloth Window Crest. You know what it is? It's the flow, Elliot, Lamar, the golden trio is back in business. You know the phone going on there. Yeah, it was albums for like an hour or so. I fucking know it. Well, if you want, you can listen. If not, then do something else with your time. That's perfectly understandable and fine with me. Fine with the listener. Well, yeah, you know, as usual. Yeah, cool. Enjoy the show. See you later.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 4 of Sloth Window Crest is in full effect. How's everyone doing? Elliot, Lamar,
I'm doing great, man. I've been playing that God of War. Been bumping these albums.
God of War. Hey, everyone, if you own a PlayStation 4, my guy, you gotta get on this.
God of War.
You gotta get on this new God of War, bro.
It's reduced.
It's fucking.
It's
pretty fantastic, but
Xbox One ain't got nothing.
They have got nothing.
We're not starting a console war right now.
We're not doing this. I'm just saying.
Honestly. But what I think, they got Recall, they got Sea of Thieves. Like,
Recall?
Recall, yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's not.
It sounds it, but it's not.
Yeah, but they had Sunset Overdrive, which was like the one game I thought that was going to be like the one that's like worth actually buying, but I played it and it was terrible. Like the humor was so
that game.
Yeah, the one by Insomniac.
It looks like a prototype ripoff.
It kind of was. It was that style game, like a prototype style game, like an infamous style game. You like climb around and have loads of powers and shit. It seemed like kind of cool, but there was so much going on at once. Like staying on the rail whilst also shooting bad guys, whilst also staying in the air. Because if you stayed in the air, it kept bouncing, like staying. Maintaining airtime would like improve your ability to do shit. And, like, it would make you more strong and stuff. So you had to keep an eye on that, whilst also fighting off dudes, while also like staying in the air. While also, it was like what the fuck? Like, it was not enjoyable. It was not enjoyable. You couldn't just enjoy it, which is the point of this game, is to just have fun and go crazy. That's what they're trying to do. And the humor was terrible. The jokes was all like nerdy, like, oh my god, I'm a nerd, and like gamer humor.
Oh, like Watch Dogs 2, like humor.
Kind of, but like worse, a lot worse.
Really, worse?
Like really, like Jesus Christ. It was cringy jokes and shit. It was just such a weak game. But Xbox, they ain't got they've not got a single system seller exclusive. PlayStation has numerous, man. Last of Us, Horizon. Fucking God of War.
Yeah, man.
You got Spider-Man coming out this year.
And these all came out with like...
Bloodborne is a huge one.
Yeah, and Dark Souls 3. And Dark Souls 3 of course.
That's on Xbox.
That's on Xbox.
Oh, is that on Xbox too?
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 is on Xbox. Man.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I felt like the Dark Souls games were like exclusive.
Right, they were originally.
Nier
Automata, that is also... Persona
5
5 is
Persona 5.
Just unrealistically good. That game is fucking incredible.
Old Kingdom Hearts as well.
And that's on...
3 is.
3 is coming to Xbox, but the package, the collection is not. But
they're only on PlayStation.
So overall, summary, buy a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I guess because the exclusives are pretty great. Obviously, PC is like the best place to play, I think.
Yeah, that gets you the best gaming experience, but I still see the place for a console.
Consoles definitely have an audience for sure. Yeah, like PC is still like technically really amazing, and there's loads of bonuses that you can't get on console for sure. But man. Regardless, that was a decent intro. Nice little segue.
Yeah, today was fun as well.
We had a great day today.
Going to London.
We went to London.
Going to 4 records. Well, 5 shops that sell music.
Yeah. We got a good haul of CDs, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought Kanye's late registration CD because I realised I did not own it, and I was like, that's a problem. It was a pretty great album. And I got Jimi Hendrix.
You got like a ton, didn't you?
Got some Flylo.
Yeah, you got some Flylo.
I got some Flylo too, but a different album. I got Pattern plus Grid World.
You got Pattern, yeah. Or Pattern Pattern plus Grid World. I thought it was Pattern Grid plus World for a minute. But yeah, you're right, yeah. And you got Los Angeles.
I got Los Angeles, yeah.
I picked up Rollo Tomasi's new album, which, by the way, if you've not heard it yet, get on that. It's the album of the year, in my opinion. So far. Swans this year. I got Lord Melodrama, Jennifer Rosenstock's Post. That's everything. So yeah, not a bad haul. That was pretty decent.
Anyway.
Yeah, we should, Sorry for rambling.
Yeah.
Apologize, we got some albums to talk about.
4 minutes of just...
Yeah, that's a 4-minute intro.
Like,
just kind of... Yeah, that was alright. That was not bad. But yeah, we got some albums to talk about today. We're going to start off like we normally do with the popular album, I guess. Well, actually, we didn't do that last time, did we? Just hit me, we did Sango first.
Right,
last time, which was the unpopular one. We did X.
Oh, really? Yeah,
but I was thinking we do the popular one.
Like, I feel
first,
get Cardi B.
Let's get Cardi B.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it's Cardi.
Yeah,
Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy, which dropped April, I believe it was April 6th or something like that, which is kind of crazy because the other album we're doing today also was on that same day, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, anyways, let's go. Let's talk about Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Cardi B, man. Cardi B, obviously, she's been taking the world by storm for a while now. Sorry, why'd you say
that? Was so unneeded.
Why'd you say
that? Was very unneeded.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. I was thinking of.
Were you impersonating Cardi B?
I was trying to, but then I was like, "This is not."
Like midway through, you realize this was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like abomination, bro. This was bad. But yeah, okay. So Cardi B, man. Obviously, she was a stripper, made it to being a rapper, rags to riches. It's pretty crazy story. You know, good for her.
Yeah.
In the struggle, made it out.
Finna grind.
On that fucking grind, finna grind. Exactly.
Grind.
Now she's like fucking flexing. But yeah, man. So, okay, before we begin the actual review, what were you expecting from it?
Trap bangers.
I was expecting some just some trap bangers
Like
that
trap
weren't
beats.
going to be overly amazing or anything.
Sure,
Just,
sure.
like fine, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So,
thought
like, in
that's-
regards to just the sonic theme of the album, you were thinking
Yeah.
like trap, like because that's trendy. She's a trendy,
Crisp,
she's mainstream.
crisp production.
Like really like high budget,
sticky hooks.
high
you
budget
know.
production. Yeah, exactly, like pop
Yeah.
type stuff.
Basically, Bodak Yellow 12 times or 13 times. Basically, is
Yeah,
what I was
sure.
expecting.
Like,
That's fair enough. Like not the most lyrical prowess or anything.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
definitely not. No.
But yeah, just like trap,
Of course,
trendy
no,
type
just-
beats. You know, like sticky hooks and whatever, all that
Yeah.
good shit. Just a pop rap album. pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, definitely.
it's kind
But
of
were
like
you expecting-
Migos, like, but
Sure,
the
yeah,
female
yeah,
version.
exactly. Only there's one of them.
Yeah.
Just to three.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So who's gonna go first?
I'm going last on this one.
Yeah, we agreed that you're gonna go last. So shall I go
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna go first. So, Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy. In my opinion, I think as a pop rap album, as a debut album, this was nowhere near as shoddy as I was expecting.
Mm.
I think the
that's kind of true.
Yeah.
like this album, when it comes to just the core songs, they're not terrible. You know, they're pretty decent when it comes to just like the structure of them and just the way they're just composed and put together. There is like the opening track, Get Up 10. I think that was an appropriate start to this album because it kind of reminded me of like a Meat Mill type song where it's like building up the hype, like this is like where it gets real. This is where it gets real. The intro is like rags to riches, like only thing fake is the boobs. It's like this is where she's like detailing who she is and all this, like the intro, and it gets real like climactic by the end, and the beat starts coming in. She starts really going in. And it's like, I don't want to hear no sneak dissing, especially not from one of you weak bitches. Like she's just showing that attitude. I can appreciate that. I thought even though sonically it was a bit predictable, because I've heard a lot of some songs like that. I follow that kind of formula.
Yeah.
It was an appropriate start. Second track, Drip. Honestly, people have hated on this song, but I don't hate Drip. I think in particular Takeoff was really impressive on that.
Was that the last verse?
I think so. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
I thought
that verse was
I know
fire.
Quavo was last.
Was it Quaver that
Quaver
was
was
last?
last, yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
distinguish them. I can normally tell them apart,
Yeah,
but this
yeah.
time they were kind of hard for me. But
Sure, yeah, Takeoff. Well, I thought they did a decent job. And the
Takeoff.
hook, man. I'm not mad at the hook. It's not like a good hook. The drip, keep on drip.
It was kind of like
drip.
very typical Migos.
Yeah, it's just that. I wasn't mad at the hook. The
Yeah.
beat was fine. It was whatever. Overall, not mad at that. In regards to songs that I remember distinctly thinking, this song I genuinely enjoyed listening to some degree.
Yeah.
I got two. I got three, I'd say.
Yeah.
I
Same.
thought Best... You're three?
Yeah, I got
Best Life with Chance. I really thought Chance did a great job on that song. I thoroughly enjoyed Chance's verse because he reminded me of what I enjoyed about acid rap. Because what I thought made acid rap enjoyable was his personality shined through in his rapping style. Like, he actually sounded like a distinct character. His vocal quirks were actually indicative of my enjoyment quite a bit, because they stood out.
Yeah.
And he had like some really interesting like vocal quirks going on, and a really cool little kind of bouncy flow, like she trapping at you, making at you, happy for her, like like a real bouncy kind of fun flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was
Fine,
entertaining.
Nothing wrong with it.
That was nice. Yeah, I thought he kept that entertaining, and his hook was solid too. You know, what's it? On my L's and the list. And I was like, this is catchy, you know, I'm not mad at this. And the beat was kind of just like nice and endearing and whatnot. And I liked how Cardi B referenced the whole hashtag thing, the Twitter thing. She said like, Cardi B is so problematic, that's the hashtag. I can't believe they want to see me lose that bad or something.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool that she's addressing that. Like, she's actually, like, Cardi B, obviously, you're not going to go to Cardi B expecting like a message. Like that, but it's cool to see her address things that are beyond just like, oh, I'm on now, I'm rich, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm all this, and all that, like, you know, fucking, like, bragging and stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then she came through with some kind of substantialism, or substance, I should say. But yeah, so Best Life, I got a bit of that. I thought, but yeah, Cardi with 21 Savage was great. Mainly because of 21 Savage, honestly. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah.
He had the funniest fucking lines. He had a line where he was like, my sperm worth millions.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just hilarious. Because he says it like so cold-blooded. It's like... honestly,
like, I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to tell you a funny quote.
It's like, honestly, I fucking love 21 Savage now, bro. He's like, I don't eat pussy, I'm fast. Dude, 21 Savage is so entertaining. He's like, I don't eat pussy, I'm fast, dude. Like, bitch, I'm dripping. Told the waitress I ain't tipping. Got hot sauce on my chicken. It was so sick.
I think the best way to describe 21 Savage is like, if Danny Brown was shit, like, that's how I describe it.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
Danny Brown would say that, like, hot sauce on my chicken or something like
yeah,
that.
like,
I can see him, like,
my sperm work.
Like, no, but then he said, like,
okay,
but then he said, like, I pulled the rug, bro. He said, like, he put hot sauce on the titties or something. Like,
he could rap over
so
some Danny Brown beats.
Oh my, yeah, maybe.
They do a bad job of it, I'd imagine.
Right, now 21 Savage, man, he's I like his style. I like how his emotionlessness just so perfectly sells the fact that he just doesn't give one fuck. Sure. And it just perfectly mixes with his fucking lyrics a lot of the time. And this verse was entertaining. And the hook was pretty catchy. They're like, what's it? How to command you upset. Or something like that. It was pretty catchy.
Oh, was that the
Yeah, that was it.
Breaking the brain on upset.
Yeah, something. Yeah, that was pretty catchy. And my favorite track on the album was definitely the song "I Do" with SZA.
Yes. I think we can. That song is easily the best.
Yeah, that is easily the best song.
Okay, look.
Right,
I want to shout out Murder Beats.
That actually used to have a heart on it, so I'm gonna just put that right back. There we go.
It was a good song. A really good song.
Yeah. I want to shout out Murder Beats real quick because he produced the song and that beat was pretty sick. And SZA sounded great.
Yeah.
On that chorus, she sounded like.
Yeah, she was like doing that trap shit at the beginning.
Yeah, like she fucking sounded good, man. I enjoyed her on that track, even though I wasn't really. I also loved that line Cardi B had where she was talking about like for the record, I said record sales or something. Like it's like it's the way she spun the word record in all of its three different kind of definitions. And she's like, like they said like they're mad that I'm not finished. It's hard to tell. You know, my 50 minutes is lasting long as hell. I'm like that's fucking. I like how like Cardi B. Like I said, I was saying to you guys earlier today actually about rappers like Kodak Black, who sound emotionless and dull. And whilst a lot of the music on this album, like songs like Be Careful, I hated that song. I thought Be Careful sucked. The subject matter on Bickethead was awful, which is like, pop your pussy, like popping pussy is going out of style. That shit was just awful. That shit was terrible. All of that. Bickethead was just terrible. Ring, didn't care for that at all. Through Your Phone, the singing on that was awful. She Bad was the worst thing ever. She bad. That ass. Like, that was terrible. That was fucking atrocious. Like, you know, I mean, yeah, like obviously the content here isn't a lot of the time great, but I appreciate the fact that she actually has a presence on these songs. You know?
Yeah.
Like she's not trying to sound boring like Kodak Black or something like that.
Yeah. She's switching up her things, you know.
Yeah, like she actually has a commanding vocal presence to her.
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah.
You can recognize Cardi B when you hear her.
Yeah.
And I think this is a solid debut for her. Now, do I enjoy this album that much? Like Moneybag was terrible because it pretty much gave into every sort of cliche on this album. What's it like? What's it? They're like, and
that beat was disgusting.
That'd be like do that beat right
It
there.
was horrible, man.
And that beat was nothing crazy, man. And like, yeah, like it had like all the flows that she kept using. I don't know if you noticed, like when she was doing like, she did that like so fucking much, man. It got so redundant, bro. And Moneybag was like the song where all of her typical cliches came into one song, and it was just boring. So yeah, overall, I didn't mind this. I wouldn't say I had a bad time with this album. I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought for a pop rap album, the songs were there. Production was solid for the most part. There were songs I did not like. I thought I Like It was a little obnoxious, but that song kind of fit her sound pretty well. It wasn't really for me.
Okay.
But I thought I like the part where she said like She likes proving people wrong. She does what they say. Like, I do what they say I can't. Like, talking about, like, that kind of attitude is there again, which I appreciate and enjoy. But the Spanish shit, I mean, and the beat was a little just obnoxious. That tone is not really my thing. But overall, I mean, this was better than I thought it was going to be. It was more enjoyable than I expected. But it was not anything I was going to, like, come back to all the time or recommend to people. Overall, for my enjoyment, it was okay. I'm feeling like a 6. I'll go with a 6.
Okay, 6. Fair enough.
Okay. 6. Yeah, alright, you guys are Elliot, you go.
So I'm up now. So it was a cool project, you know. It was nothing like groundbreaking.
Of course, it's just
I mean, this is Cardi B, so you're not really expecting that shit. But
yeah. Well, then again, how many people in the mainstream really are doing her thing then? You know, I mean, like in regards to what she's talking about. You know, she's
I would say like every mumble rapper.
That's no, wait, what? Mumble rapper? She's not a mumble rapper.
No, but
how are they doing what she's doing? She actually.
I don't know.
But that's because there's not as much female competition. I would say.
When I say mumble rapper, I just mean like
she's a lot more
effortless rappers
okay.
who rap over like, you know, these sort of like fun trap beats. That's how I kind of feel about it.
I think she's more assertive than most artists are, which I think gives her a bit of an appeal. That's kind of distinct.
Sure. I sound like a right old head, but I don't listen to music like Lil Pump and shit.
Sure, yeah.
I just don't really like Lil Yachty, you know, any of the Lil.
Yeah, a lot of them are terrible, so that makes sense.
I know you're like you enjoy them. Kind of. You
like
Lil Pump and stuff?
I can appreciate a fun hype song. Every now and then I'll like skim through Lil Yachty's catalogue and maybe I'll find a cool little hype song that I'll play for like a few days. I can appreciate where the enjoyment stems from that type of music. I don't frequently listen to it like that.
It's fun music. It's sort of like what hype beasts would call like turn up music.
Yeah, it's like turn up, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there are songs by Lil Pump like this is a hype fun song that I every now and then will just have a little fun 2-minute blast with. Every other week or whatever, you know, come back to here and there. But I'm not like I'm not like regularly going back to like every fucking Lil Pump mixtape or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge connoisseur of this style of music.
But
that's not what I'm trying to say. But yeah.
Anyway, back to songs that I kind of like enjoyed.
Yeah, what were your favorite tracks on the song?
Favorite tracks. Yeah. I actually really liked I Like It.
Oh really? Okay.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah. It's not a bad song. Yeah, it fits her sound really well, but I just think just the tone of it is not for me. It feels goofy, like that sample was just annoying to me. Overall, the song was just a bit obnoxious.
Hang on, it was the Spanish one, right?
It was the Spanish one.
Yeah,
it was just too overblown for me, but I definitely think it fit her style very well.
She
comes off obnoxious, and the beat's obnoxious, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
And then I mean, pretty much everything you were saying. But,
oh really? Okay.
But I don't know. I found her rapping absolutely tolerable, unlike quite a lot of these tracks. Traps
okay.
Right.
The next one that I enjoyed was Bodak Yellow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bodak Yellow is the first time I've actually heard it. Everyone else has been like, I've heard this song since like day one and shit.
Sure. Yeah, I heard it when it came out, but that's
exactly.
the only time I heard it until.
That's what I'm saying. But Bodak Yellow was cool. It was nothing like amazingly special.
Yeah.
But
exactly. in context with the album, I guess it's kind of a highlight, kind of. It's just too slow to be interesting to me. And nothing she's got not a single line of substance at any point on the entire song. And the song is long. I mean, it's 3 minutes, 44 seconds?
Yeah.
And it's like the beat is kind of like, it's just kind of slow and sluggish. It's not really like a massive exciting
bloody moves.
The hook is catchy though. I won't lie, the hook has been in my head a lot.
Sure.
I can't lie about that one. But yeah.
And then the third one is I Do featuring.
Oh yeah, that's the best track.
That's like,
that was a hit.
It was a hit.
I can tell when they heard that beat, they knew this was a hit. This is going to be a hit fucking record.
Everything about it was just like, absolutely above average. You know.
Yeah, that should have been a single. I don't know why that wasn't a single.
It was a really good track.
Yeah.
It was a good track.
Yeah. What do you think of Ring featuring Cardi?
Ring.
What do you think of Ring?
I didn't really think anything of it. Honestly.
Ring.
Yeah, exactly. That was just annoying as
Kalani
sounded like the typical slow jam.
Exactly. That's exactly what the typical commercial poppy slow jam song.
Kalani on that track was just not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean she's not a bad singer, but when she hops on these poppy features, she sounds super generic. She can sing well, but she's just too generic. She's not all that standout. Really.
But I Do had a great beat. I think when it comes to these kind of albums, when I listen to them, it's more about the beat.
You're looking for production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what did you think of Get Up 10 though? Did you enjoy Get Up 10?
Yeah, I don't really remember it, like a lot of these songs.
Right, okay.
I only listened to this twice.
Sure.
I'll be real, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine, like,
right.
from what I remember.
Sure, when I had that progression, at the beginning it was kind of like lavish and shit, and then at the end it was like,
yeah.
Weep, bitches, and then the beat came in.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me now. But,
I thought it was an appropriate intro. It wasn't like a massively amazing song or anything, but it worked as the intro for this type of album. Oh, what about score? Sorry.
Score. Yeah.
You like a score?
Score.
For my enjoyment, it was a 6. I didn't have a bad time with this. I'd be lying if I gave it like any lower.
I'll go into the points and I'll say a 4.5 because I wasn't really digging this too much.
Well, for you it was bad.
Yeah. Like, as I say, like, the best tracks on here were only, like, good, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and
I mean,
there was only three of them, so.
I just thought the worst track... Well, I mean, like, there wasn't really a huge number of songs here that I thought were just flat out atrocious, really. She Bad was, like, one of the only ones that I just thought was straight up just awful.
I mean, it's definitely better than X's album.
Yeah, right.
I really didn't enjoy that album.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't mind this. It was alright. I didn't think it was that bad. She had a good presence. She had lyrically, it was slightly more substance. Like, it had slightly more depth than I thought it would. I mean, it's still definitely very surface level. Let's not get that twisted. But like, there were actually songs where she was actually having some kind of message going on, which I appreciate. And production-wise, it was pretty diverse. You know, I can appreciate it, man. The songs are there. I mean, hey, her singing was terrible though. On Be Careful, Jesus Christ. Her singing where she was like, "What's mine is yours," or whatever. She sounded terrible.
Yeah. Oh
my god. But yeah, sorry, Lamar, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to the conversation?
So Cardi B for me is this the first time I've ever heard a full length. Well, this is her first full length. As a rapper, I find she can be a bit clumsy sometimes. Like her delivery can just sound a bit like too much.
No. It's like
she does it all the time.
Yeah.
Moneybag was the worst. Moneybag. She did it again.
Yeah, it can get really stale.
It's like she needs to vary up like flows and cadences and things like that. Like, you got to keep those things diverse to maintain an interesting presence on an album. But continue. I agree with that.
Yeah, she just comes a bit like she's bringing a bit too much to a track. Like if the beat's already given a lot, you sometimes want to pull back a bit in like your delivery, and I think she's very much herself. I respect that, but just on some tracks, I think like she could have suited the track a bit better. But
would you have any examples of songs where she didn't fit the beat?
Yeah, I think it was Moneybag, where it's just kind of like you're doing the same thing on Bodak
Yellow. I think that's a kind of beat that she would pick. I don't think she sounded too out of place on that.
Yeah,
that beat and her voice do kind of mesh well, even though it didn't really work into a good song.
No, I feel you.
I would say the song where she felt the most uncomfortable was Rain to me. With that kind of slow jammy thing, that's not her thing. I'll Be Careful or something. But go
or she could have just changed it up.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Yeah.
No, for me, like I don't dislike this album as much as I thought I would. I respect it. I mean, it's a concise 13-track project.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I got to commend. Like with that Tory Lanez album, which was like 18 tracks. Like, this is more digestible. This is more digestible. You know?
Definitely.
She definitely focused in on making as much bangers as possible.
Yeah, she was going for that like explosive banger.
Just like banger.
And from the reception, I mean, it seems like it's been a hit. But
the reviews have been crazy.
But in my personal opinion, man, this was just like really mediocre for me. Like,
sure.
She brings something new to the table, which is great. But for the most,
I mean, I think she has a distinct voice, but I wouldn't say like ultimately it was a massively.
I think that's what she brings to the table.
That's what.
But I mean,
she is.
Sorry, the way you said it, it's not like as a boundary pushing movie.
No. I mean, as in like she's another distinguishable rapper. She's not another Lil. You know what I mean? She is Cardi B. This is very much her album, and so.
For sure.
100% props to her. Get Up 100 was definitely like...
Get Up 10.
Get Up 10, sorry.
Yeah,
that was definitely
okay.
I was like...
I was actually quite shocked by that. I thought she had a really entertaining presence on the song.
Yeah, and it was
kind of... I didn't expect at all. I thought she was just being annoying the whole time. But I was like, I actually kind of like her with the way she sounds.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this at all.
Yeah.
And that maintained for the most part for the whole album, which is why I would give it a 6. But
she definitely thought about, obviously, how she was going to open up the album. And I feel like just things like that just shows thought going into things, you know?
The thought and effort was there.
Yeah, it was definitely there. Yeah. So I definitely respect it.
Like with X's album, it feels like there was no thought into putting anything. It was a bunch of 1 minute long songs.
Yeah.
Like, there was no
unfinished ideas and
question mark. It's just like a bunch of just thoughtless songs.
But
this feels like the songs were thought about and structured to some degree.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And I think she definitely knows the genre that or like the kind of audience she's catering to, because almost every song
that's very true.
is definitely a good.
You can tell that,
she definitely knows
she knows what
I'm making a hit.
She knows what people want to hear from her.
Like that. I mean, I kind of disagree. I think Bodak Yellow is like that's a great banger. Like her delivery on that sells the whole song. Like
I agree, she sounds
the bloody moves. This is like my god.
I agree. She sounds confident, but it's just too redundant of a song for me. And her flow sounds like she just learned to rap. Like,
I make this chill with
shout to David. I shout to David.
I'm with you.
Hold up. Shout to David, bro. I just kind of stole his thing. He always said whenever he talks about Bodak Yellow, he's like, she just sounds like she just learned to rap yesterday. I totally agree. I'm like, bro, exactly. It's so dead on. Like, and that's exactly how I feel. I said that, but I wanted to give him credit. He came up with it.
It's like it is a kind of amateurish style of rapping, but
it's
like
so fucking lazy.
It's so, but for me, it's just so like well suited. The beat is just like kind of mellow, but she's bringing like an energy and hype to it that's just kind of contagious. You just can't help but nod your head to a song like that for me.
I think it could have been trimmed down to some degree, and it was just too redundant. Lyrically, it was just.
She should have made it like. I think she could have cut at least 3 tracks out.
Make it 10 tracks?
Yeah, Moneybag.
I don't know. I think Ring. 13 is still right. Although I don't feel every track.
Moneybag, Ring, and Bickenhead maybe.
Bickenhead. I would say She Bad needs to go.
Yeah, She Bad. But Ring is like the slow.
Yeah, you know what? She Bad. YG was like awful.
Oh my god, YG fucking.
What have you done, man? Bro, you were making like.
Yeah, you love it. Yeah, Elliot loves
Still Brazy. Yeah, like you made that like.
For sure.
Piece of master, like masterpiece.
Piece of master.
Piece of master. What even?
That's a dope album, man. That's a fucking dope album.
It was a great album. And now he's like doing,
that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I were to cut 3 tracks, I would say She Bad, Ring, and I would say Be Careful, but Be Careful kind of has a point. Like she's talking about like be careful with me, like she's talking about like Offset, or maybe she says she's not talking about Offset, but it's clearly talking about Offset. I'm talking about like. Like she is, be careful. She's paying attention to your cheeky shit,
Yeah.
You're messing with her and you're in a relationship. She's onto you, man. Be careful.
She's funny.
I understand what she's saying on that track. There's a place for that. But musically, the beat on that song was so horrific and her singing just sounded terrible. I want to get that shit out there. But it definitely has a point and a place in the album. But I would say be careful. But if I would remove personal, subjective, if I look at it objectively, I'd say She Bad, Moneybag, and Ring should go.
Ring is the slow jangle of the album, so I think it needs to stay personally. Although she doesn't fit on it.
It's not her thing, man.
It just
needs
really
it needs a.
Yeah, I'm with it.
We're having all these trap bangers, right? And then she throws in Ring with like.
But you need a bit of variation.
Subpar singing on it and like.
Otherwise, if it was all trap bangers,
one like rapping, like. It's just...
it kind of seem as like a break, I guess. From
no, but what I'm saying to say is, even if you removed Ring, if you had straight bangs, then you'd then think one of those could be removed. You always always need a breakup.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
You sold me. I said 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4 out there.
So
it's 3 or 4 sucked. But 3 or 4 again, he was talking about. I went through your phone, found some cheeky shit. But the singing was just so terrible.
Yeah, it's just
the singing all over the shit. God.
It's just
stick to rapping,
Yeah.
But for me, it was just kind of like, okay, this is cool and all, but there's nothing. None of the songs are like. Really great bangers that I clicked with. Apart from, it wasn't until I got to the last track.
The final track. The last
I was really surprised. I literally even said to myself, if this last track is somewhat good, I'll be surprised.
And it was.
And I was like, okay, I take everything back.
Yeah. That song, I would gladly come back to that song.
No,
honestly.
But yeah, it just was a kind
of. That dude. Yeah.
It was a mixed bag. By track, I'm gonna say 8. Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of like, okay, I really want this to finish now. I feel like after maybe even the first 4 tracks, you've kind of heard what she has to offer.
Yeah, I feel you on that actually. She's not got the most versatility, and when she does try to be versatile, like with Ring, it doesn't really pan out.
Yeah.
So
for me,
right.
For me, wasn't really feeling it. Respect it 100%, but I'm feeling a 5 on this. Very
5,
very average.
4.5 from Ellie, is that right?
4.5, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I'm the most positive on this one, huh?
Again, a ladder of scores. We normally have a ladder.
Yeah,
of
we
scores.
do have like a ladder. That's true. That's
sure.
But yeah, man, I thought it was pretty decent. I didn't mind it that much.
Invasion of Privacy, guys.
Yeah, that was not bad.
Fine album.
Yeah, all right. It was not as atrocious as the other popular albums we've covered on this thing. So it's a step in the right direction, I guess, for this popular segment. But now we're going to get into the next album, which is the, I guess, not really unpopular, but the slightly lesser known, I guess, album we'll cover, which, we'll get into right now. So, we're going to be talking about Care For Me by Saba. Saba is a Chicago rapper who I think is mostly known for his work with, with Chance the Rapper.
He came up with all of them.
Yeah, because he was featured on Acid Rap as well as coloring book. And Saba, he sort of exists in a big wave of Chicago rappers.
Wait, is Smino's Chicago?
So, yeah, Smino.
Okay,
Fucking
Mick Jenkins.
Mick Jenkins.
I think they've done a few tracks together.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. No Name. Vic Mensa.
I feel like they've all kind of been on the same wave of artsy type rap. Yeah.
I think,
kind of jazz rap.
Yeah, but BJ the Chicago Kid as well.
Yeah.
As R&B singer, but still in that sort of same lane. They would collaborate with each other and whatnot. But yeah, Saba, he released an album a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Bucket List Project. Didn't really impress me too much, personally. I thought it was cool. It was nice. It was definitely not bad at all, but yeah, man. He seemed to be turning some heads with this new one, so I checked it out. You know, I had the date marked, April 5th or 6th. I'm going to check out this new Saba album and see what happens. But yeah, I have opted to go last for this review.
Yeah.
So who's going first?
We'll go this way.
Elliot?
I'll go first.
Yeah. Okay, Elliot. All right.
Okay.
What did you think of Saba's Care For Me?
So, Care For Me is one of the most exciting releases of this year.
Yes, what a statement, my guy.
Yeah, by a long shot. I've been wanting to talk about this for like ages.
Yeah, we never like to give away what our thoughts are until this.
We kind of all knew.
Yeah,
what was happening
I think
today.
we were like,
We like to keep it secret until we actually record the review, and that's when we find out what our opinions are. But yeah, Elliot, continue.
So track 1, Busy / Sirens.
Yeah.
Busy was like amazing.
Right.
Like everything about it, like the beat, like just the way he was like rapping over it, just sort of seamlessly.
Yeah, man. Walter got killed for a coat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and Walter.
And it was just such an emotional track. Like.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah. And then Sirens. It was really short. Sirens on the way.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now you're lying where the edge. Running through the city. I'm young.
Yeah.
You've been listening to this.
Yeah, you've been like, you rarely quote
You like this. You like this.
I love this, man. This is Sirens. That was like somehow like one of my favourite tracks. Like if I was to split it off.
Yeah, if Sirens
so
is its own song.
Yeah.
Boy,
and it's a beautiful segment as well.
Marijuana. Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and what the song is about too is beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. From the perspective of a 15-year-old kid getting killed.
Yeah.
And the sirens, the police sirens.
Yeah, the police
Angels
sirens.
are on the way. And that's when we get killed from marijuana and like, that was really sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, you guys mind if I just do like a little breakdown of each of the tracks?
Oh,
yeah.
Sure.
So Broken Girls, let's go.
Broken Girls.
Right.
Broken Girls.
Yeah.
A fantastic track.
Sure.
Like, so Life.
Yeah, Life.
And that's Life. Okay. So Life was probably one of my favourite tracks on this album.
Yeah, on first listen, that was a big highlight for sure.
Yeah.
It sticks out quite a lot. It's one of the most aggressive songs, if not the most aggressive.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, so Life was like an absolute trap banger.
It was a banger. Yeah. It was pretty high octane. Like.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It was pretty crazy,
It was...
Yeah, for sure. A lot of intensity on that song.
It was very intense. Like, what he was rapping about from, like... just from, like...
It was heavy, actually.
Yeah, it was really... Yeah.
Because at first it's like, oh, this is fucking hard, but then you listen to it and it's like really dark.
That's Life.
It's really dark.
And just the title name and what it's about. Just that being
perfect.
life.
And
it's
that,
just
it's just so direct.
And that part where he's, like,
so
listing off, like, each of the things. Mama called it...
Yeah, like... Yeah,
Mama mixed the vodka with the Sprite.
Killed my cousin with
exactly.
the fucking knife from my uncle on the phone.
And my
he's like
uncle
going
on the
through...
phone.
He got on a urine and then he died. Like,
and it's
it's just
that
like
little...
so...
It
encapsulates... It encapsulates what he was trying to go for on this track perfectly. He was just like trying to talk about life, like
exactly
life.
Yeah, exactly. This is life. Like this is the life he's accustomed to because he lives in very dangerous. Chicago is known for being dangerous.
Yeah, sure. I would struggle to see how like
Chirac
he could have done this album any better.
Right.
Honestly.
So it was definitely well executed.
Yeah. A strong like on that track, like just that track. Between You and Me. 9 out of 10. Like,
I like the way you did that. Between you and me.
And you're talking to like a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not like huge like that. I guess we got a few viewers. A handful.
A
handful of viewers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between us, you guys. It's our secret, you guys.
Yeah.
Elliot will give the song a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. 9 out of 10.
Calligraphy.
Don't tell anyone, man.
Go Calligraphy was a beautiful song. So Calligraphy was like another fantastic song. Like I wouldn't say there's one like flat out awful song on this track.
Yeah, alright.
On this album, yeah. It was like one of his more mellow tracks, like
it was very chill
and mellow. But I like the sort of style he was going for and shit. It was
It was nice.
The way he rode the beat on that as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. The way he rode like the beat was fantastic.
For sure, yeah.
What
would you say
Running Away.
Your least favourite song on the album?
Least favourite song?
You had to pick a least favourite.
It's gonna be Heaven All Around Me for one reason.
Okay, what's
it was absolutely pointless. Completely pointless.
Oh my god, no it was not. How the fuck was that pointless?
It was a good song.
How was that? No, but like that is like one of the most pivotal songs to the concept of this or to the theme of this album.
Sure, yeah. Like I'm not saying it's a bad song at all, but like Prom King, it ended beautifully on Prom King.
I agree, yeah.
That was, but Heaven All Around Me was like
it was like
perfect aftermath to that song.
I think if it had gone grey, Heaven All Around Me, Prom King, it would have worked a lot better.
No, it wouldn't. Okay, I'll wait for my go, but I do not get that at all. Heaven All Around Me was the perfect.
It felt like the album had finished on probably my favourite track.
That was like the most climactic song, but it was like that was the big climax, but the ending, the aftermath was Heaven All Around Me.
It's
like when you're watching like a movie, and it's like when you watch a movie, and it's like this crazy thing happens, and then it's like the ending sequence,
and anyway,
the aftermath.
I'll talk about Prom/King.
Pointless. I'll wait, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Prom/King. I love this track because like
this track is brilliant. Yeah, go ahead.
On Prom, he's like rapping about like how he can't get girls and shit, and he's just like really upset and shit, and he's like really like down and shit. He's riding the beat beautifully as well.
Yeah, his performance was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
His performance was exceptional.
Yeah.
He truly sounded vulnerable. And like when it started getting more panicky at the end, it was really shining through. Like amazing.
And then King,
corner.
Yeah, and then King, the way that transition,
the ending of that song gave me chills, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But like. The way it transitioned from Prom to King, it kind of like faded out.
Yeah, that little vocal thing, and then the drums came in,
and it was like King.
Bustling drums.
I'm like, and it's like that burst of confidence.
It is, yeah.
It's like amazing. It was like one of my favorite parts in the whole album, honestly.
Sure, that was a very
if not my favorite part.
For sure, yeah, 100%.
It was just, and then like how he's starting to get like really, like sort of nervous and panicky on the thing, and he's like sort of screaming. He's going like right. Yeah, and he's like
reminded me a lot of like a Kendrick kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just getting a bit angry. Yeah, I was getting a bit of a Twin Butterfly influence as well.
Yeah,
especially on
jazzy kind
on
of
Grey. The outro of Grey, where those jazzy horns come like and he's like kept on me, everything is great, everything. And that's sort of like the kind of outro that would be on Twin Butterfly. Like on Mother, where he's like, have a look at fucking heart, like kind of like the jazz starts going crazy.
Yeah,
ending of Grey was very T-Pub-ish, but to me, but yeah,
sure, and Prom/King.
Yeah, I feel you on that as well.
Yeah. It encapsulated. It just ended perfectly,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Heaven All Around Me was a fine ending. I think thematically it was a really appropriate way to finish that song, given the ending of Prom King and how heavy it was.
On my last listen, I was just like, I've heard Heaven All Around Me enough times now, so I just ended it on Prom/King, and it made for a much more like satisfying experience.
That's cool.
Log Out. Let's talk about Log Out.
With Chance?
Yeah.
This is one of my least favourite tracks on the album.
Alright.
Yeah. Log Out, it was cool and all, but like Chance, like the rapper, didn't need to be there. He was sort of like saying
everything is on camera. Everybody got damn.
He was just sort of like saying,
scratching their head now. Anybody got damn.
The beat in the background when he came in was like awesome, but like
everybody want handouts, everybody want pamphlets, everybody wants Saba, everything's on camera.
He was but he was just saying like he was doing like what Kendrick's doing at the moment. Where he's like saying like one word.
But he spun it in genuinely interesting ways. I think he wasted each line. I think every line made sense.
I mean,
I know people with their friend requests as their homepage. Like that's fucking.
And then they're like when they're up on stage, like they're stuck in their own cage. That was crazy.
That was a good chance.
That was clever. Yeah.
I don't see how that was a weak chance.
But
I mean, his performance was less animated than it normally is.
It just felt like I don't know. Yeah, I didn't
thought
really
he brought
get
a nice like sort of human touch to the song.
And then you've got Saba at the beginning going like no 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 no.
Yeah, right. With the hook.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was catchy.
The hook was it was kind of catchy, but it felt like early Saturation days to me for some reason.
For Brockhampton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Saturation 1 days.
Okay.
So it was cool, but it wasn't really doing anything.
In what sense is it like Saturation?
It's just like the repetitive nature of it. He kept on saying it. It just got really repetitive and stale.
What the whole like thing, that little gimmick.
That and like the chorus itself was, I don't know.
Because it didn't really repeat the same line at all.
Sure,
it wasn't repetitive in that sense. So, but that part was pretty repetitive. I guess.
Yeah.
That part that did pop up a lot. But overall, man, what are you thinking? Or is there another song you want to talk about? Or?
I won't talk about every single track. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But Fighter, featuring Kana was a great track.
Sure.
Another like phenomenal track in my opinion.
Awesome.
It fit. The way it like fit in the context of the album.
Sure. Yeah.
Felt perfect.
Yeah, that was a very pivotal point.
Yeah, exactly.
That to me felt like kind of like the centerpiece of the album, with the exception of Prom King. But
sure, yeah. And then the ending, the last 1 minute. Yeah, and that beat is just like. I know you said you're not like too keen on like deep voice like parts, but
yeah, that was nice.
That was the best part of the song for me.
There was auto tune on that. I wouldn't say the best part of the song, but that was auto tune on that.
Maybe not best part.
It was
actually,
catchy.
yeah, that might.
Because it was catchy. There was a nice groove to it. I don't like the deep voice, but it's like drink it, smoke. Stuff like that. That's just like corny. When that pops up on albums, like that's not cool to me. But yeah, that was fine.
And I'll go for my top 3. So Prom King, Life, and it's either Busy / Sirens or Smile.
All right, cool.
But probably Busy / Sirens because I got the most plays out of that.
So what's the album out of 10 for you, man?
Here we go.
I'm gonna go. Hang on. I'm gonna go like through my top 3 least favorites.
Oh yeah, okay.
So Grey. Grey was like okay at best. I'd say it was like a 5 out of 10.
Right.
If I was to rank everything,
Heaven
All Around Me.
That song was a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, an average song.
Yeah. Heaven All Around Me was like I said earlier, it was a good song, but it didn't fit in the album, so I'd have to give it a lower score for that and like give it a 6.
I don't get that at all, but okay, I'll wait for Matt to.
Yeah, sure. It felt like it didn't work at all to me, but the score I'm gonna give it is a 9 out of 10.
All right, damn.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 album, man. That's great.
All of the songs were like, I would say 6 at least.
We said Grey's a 5.
Oh yeah, shit. But like, okay, maybe not Grey.
Okay.
But every other song is like a 6.
So Grey's the worst track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grey was just like a pointless track.
Okay. All right. In that case, Lamar, you're up now. What do you want to say?
Wow. Funny story. The first time I listened to this album, I listened to like almost half of it on shuffle, and I didn't even realize.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
So like, was like Prom King the first track? Was that
Fighter was the first track.
Oh wow, that's not. That would not work best as an opener.
But the funny thing is, I remember listening to Fighter, and I was like, "Yo, I like this dude.
Oh, okay,
that's cool. I liked the way he was storytelling.
Not the most ideal, I guess, opener, but yeah, that's interesting. But, all right, cool.
Yeah, for the most part, I was kind of just like, okay, I like this dude. I like his style of rapping. I like the storytelling. But it wasn't until I listened to the album like this third time I actually genuinely fell in love with this album, man.
So you guys are both loving this?
Yeah. This Saba dude, I never knew about him until I didn't even know if I'd like it.
Sure.
Yeah,
I knew nothing about it, and I heard Fighter, and I was like, I like this storytelling, and then this is when I was listening to it on shuffle. Life came on. I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I listened to the album. Calligraphy is such a sick song.
Yeah.
Smile as well. He reminds me a lot of that Smino kind of.
Yeah, he has that kind of like tone to him.
I feel like he's in that kind of. I put him in this kind of. I don't know what they're calling, like artsy kind of rappers, like him, Sylvan the Q.
Sure. Yes. I mean,
Smino. They've all kind of got this type of.
Artsy, would you say?
Yeah, they got like this really articulate flow to them, and like the way that.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're trying to say.
Like their beats are not.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Their beats aren't really. Too traditional, but they are.
Yeah, so they like this. I mean, like kind of that's the thing. Like sonically, this album is pretty straightforward jazz rap for the most part, but it's very well executed. So I'm not really too mad at it not being massively boundary pushing or exciting or innovative. You know, it's really well executed jazz rap for sure. But the beats on this thing, they were lovely. He makes some great beats for this.
But just at heart, this is just a really genuine.
It is so honest.
Project. It's just a genuine project.
This is what J. Cole wishes he is, bro.
We're getting into that now.
Lamar's like a J. Cole stan, by the way.
Yeah, not a toxic one, but
not like one of the shit ones.
Yeah. No, but I feel maybe that's probably why I clicked with this, because it is kind of got that kind of vibe to it.
It is similar in a lot of ways to what you would get from a J. Cole album. For sure.
But man, I enjoyed this. But we'll go into my issues with it, because I'm sure it's had its praises sung, but the album for me, it kind of went a bit downhill towards the second half, later half of the album.
Sure.
Because I think the run from Busy / Sirens to Smile is probably like one of the best 6-track runs an album this year for me has had.
Gotcha.
Like each song I like a lot, but when it got to Log Out, I kind of thought that song for me didn't really do anything different from any other song that came before it, and it didn't do anything that any other song did better.
I'm not with you on that. I think that's a very standout song in this album. Not in the sense that it's like an amazing song that stands out, like, but I mean, compared to the other tracks, it very clearly has a distinct feel. I think it's way more up tempo than a lot of this. And it's not up tempo like Life is. It's up tempo in a very happy way. Life is very dark.
No, that's not to say I don't like the song.
Right. I do think it's unique alongside these other tracks, though.
Yeah, but for me, it was the point I heard it and I thought, okay, where is this album going anywhere different? Is it gonna expand beyond these?
Again, this album is just jazz rap. Yeah. Through and through, it's jazz rap.
I kind of thought, is this album gonna, is it going anywhere?
Gotcha. Now I get what you're saying.
From this point, from Log Out.
Yeah, but regardless.
And then you get Prom King right, and you're just like, wow, this is like fucking amazing.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, I'm joking. Like whatever you know.
Yeah.
I re-listened to Grey a few times because the first time I heard it, I thought this is really not good. Like,
sure.
I hope this album doesn't
I was different to you in a respect that I would say the first time I heard Grey, I was like, damn, this is like crazy good. And then
but the first time I heard that, I was like, this is so boring. Like,
right.
I was like, yo, Grey is probably the most boring track when I first heard it.
Wow.
But I re-listened to it again, and I was kind of like, yo, this hook is kind of growing on me, and it's so gay,
and
like,
it's so ding.
The piano was sick. The beat was actually one of my favorites. Let me add.
Grey was
and those horns that come in as well.
When you were slandering Grey, Elliot, Grey is one of my favorite tracks. Let me just get that out of the way. I think Grey is so good.
Luckily,
I used to think so.
Luckily, Grey ended up kind of growing on me. Same with Log Out. Those two tracks for me there were definitely for me the slump in the album.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Prom/King, that's a heavy track, man. That is.
Yeah, that had me in tears.
That track is
almost. Yeah, same here. I was really.
That was like
the ending of that song.
Yeah.
And
a roller coaster.
Yeah, for me, like Heaven All Around Me, it's cool. Mm-hmm. It's a nice song again. I've re-listened to this album a lot of times.
To be fair, actually, okay, you know what? About this whole Heaven All Around Me ending thing.
Yeah.
I think as a song, it's a pretty unexciting ending compared to, say, if Prom King was the ending. But I think in context with what this album's trying to say, it really makes sense for that song to be the ending.
Oh, so you might sort of feel like that's him, like, about to die, and then that's, like...
No, Heaven All Around Me is him dying. Is Walter dying.
I almost feel like...
You know Walter,
the way I almost felt about it was like Prom King. He's like, really like vicious. He's like almost having like he's gonna die. He's like, and then Heaven's just like, it's just like he's had his last breath, and now he's just
Saba?
Like, huh?
Saba? You mean Saba?
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, no,
okay,
I'm saying like,
I'll wait till my bit.
Yeah.
Right, but the whole. Okay, no, sorry, Lamar, you finish. I'll wait till my bit.
Yeah, sure.
But
yeah.
We were talking about
Heaven All Around Me. That's right. Yeah, it's not a bad song.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it was just a bit uninteresting for me.
Sure. I guess musically it's one of the more tepid songs, I suppose. Overall.
Yeah, I mean,
I still think it's a nice track, but I think as an ending, it just made sense to me for that song to be the ending.
It definitely makes sense for an ending.
In context with the album.
Yeah. But I mean, this guy's gone through so much.
Sure.
In this album, it's a real journey when you think about it. I just really feel that could have been executed in such a different kind of way. If he's had the effect, like Log Out and Grey went from tracks I didn't like to tracks I actually go back to now.
Sure.
I feel like Heaven All Around Me was just kind of like...
You know what? The best way to describe how I felt about Heaven All Around Me was like...
Sure.
You know how like you're on tidal wave, right?
Okay.
Tidal waves are riding like
you mean the roller coaster? Okay. I mean the log flume in. It's a theme park. There's the theme park in the UK called Ball Park. There's a log flume called tidal wave. Okay, so you're on tidal wave.
You're going up a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then like you're coming round. This is from like Prom King.
Okay.
Like how it's kind of like emotional. You're going up, and you're coming down.
And that
you're like he's like going like that, and
then
Heaven All Around Me.
Okay.
It's just like when you're getting off a ride.
Yeah, okay, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. It's the ending section. Exactly how I feel. And that's appropriate. That's a mandatory moment of the ride, is getting off it.
Yeah.
You need to have it. It's not the most exciting part. If it just ended and you were stuck on the... it's like basically if you're on a log flume, and if it's on a log flume, and it just ends right when you've like crashed, then just like, what? You're stuck here. You have to have that ending bit. That's what Heaven All Around Me is to me. Where it goes around and comes back around, you get off the ride. That's what Heaven All Around Me is.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's mandatory. It's not as exciting as the crash, sure.
I wouldn't say it is mandatory though. Like.
Yeah, you can't just stay there on the ride on the splash. You gotta get off, bro. You gotta get off the ride. You can't just go on the drop of the roller coaster. Like,
if we're talking about a ride, you can't stay in a fucking log loom for the rest of your days.
You gotta stay on the log flume, just like.
But okay, Heaven All Around Me.
It's not as exciting. It's not an exciting song, but it's such a perfect closer to the experience. It needs to happen. It's the ending where you think
it needs it.
I will get into disagree. Okay, so anyway, Lamar, sorry. Can you wrap this up? I need to get into my bit. I'm like freaking out, bro. I need to get into my bit so bad.
Yeah, man. Okay. It's a sleeper hit, dude.
This album, what would you score it?
I'd say anywhere from an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
8.5?
8.5. No. Okay, cool. So now it's my turn. Okay, first off, I think this album's fantastic. One of the best rap albums of the year. Cool, let's go the other way. Now, 2, this album is incredibly fucking... It's all about grief and loss. And it's fucking powerful. Okay, so the opening track, Busy. Yeah, Walter. Okay, so Walter is a friend of Saba's, his cousin, who was on his label or his part of his group Pivot Gang. Oh, and he died. As he explains on Life, kill my cousin with a pocket knife. And but on Busy, he's talking about how he wants to be alone. He's busy, having a busy day, telling everyone he's busy. He wants to be alone so he can mourn this loss.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sirens is basically just outlining how dangerous of a place this is.
Really?
No, that's not Walter on Sirens. That's just basically just a song that I think is just displaying how dangerous it is by just depicting a 15-year-old kid getting stabbed.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, Life obviously is all about just the brevity of life, how it just cuts off so, at the very end it cuts off so abruptly, and you hear you hear him panting. You hear that at the end, it's he's like...
Yeah.
And you hear the really beautiful, it's like the loss of life. It just cuts off. It's that's really nice. And then we have Fighter, which is a song that I think details a fight in 3 different scenarios. On the first verse, he's actually detailing a physical fight he went through. The second verse, he's fighting with his girlfriend, it seems, like a mental fight. Only in each one of these fights, he loses. Because remember on that second verse, it's like, well, you always do this, let me wait and talk.
Yeah,
that's from his girlfriend's perspective.
Wow,
and she's talking to him saying, you never actually listened to me. And then he ends off the verse like, my fault. He recognizes his defeat. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He wants to just better himself. And then that final verse, he says, I'm fighting myself to get out of bed. So he's fighting with himself too. She's struggling to be a better person. So it's all about personal growth and dealing with loss. Smile is the track where we sort of see through the light. It's the one track was like, hey, remember to smile. You remember to actually it's a happy chill track that kind of makes you feel good.
Remember to enjoy yourself.
Exactly, enjoy and Logout. I think Logout fits that theme as well. Calligraphy and Logout were kind of. They didn't really exist in that same plane of this kind of theme of loss and personal growth. Calligraphy, I like how he started off that song by saying, I don't tell the truth just so you'll feel sorry for me. Is the first line. Which is great. He's not saying all these true things so that you'll pity him. He went through all this stuff, poor Saba. He's saying it because he needs to get off his chest. Like he says, he's running away. He doesn't want to run away from it.
And when he's getting it off his chest, he's writing all he's writing down
that's what he says on the hook. He says, write it away.
Exactly.
Write it away. He's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And which I think is great. In my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, the way he curves that around.
Exactly.
Write it away. Right.
Yeah, and that's like calligraphy.
Yeah.
Calligraphy text writing. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In my opinion, the worst track on this album was fucking easy. I'm so shocked you guys didn't say
Broken Girls?
Broken Girls by Miles. That was the worst track. So, because first off, the subject of the song is creepy as fuck. Talking about how he uses Broken Girls as a means of escapism. He just kind of he even says how
I think that this fits perfectly into the context of the album in a respect
creepy. And the way he says it, and the hook is I'm in love with broken girls.
All right, yeah. Well, I mean,
girls.
That would sure. That was kind of annoying, but
and the beat is just so sleepy. And I just thought he said collect them like Pikachu Venusaur. He's collecting these
I found that kind of cool.
He's collecting these broken girls that he's leeching off of for his own escape of this fucking dark time. That seems so weird to me.
It kind of seemed to me like I'm not going to talk about drink. Yeah. I'm going to talk about going to the. It felt like he was talking about girls at the brothel to me.
Right.
So not like the brothel, but
born on the
He's talking about girls that are also going through depression.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like this is how
a little something. He just goes
I feel like
to be fair, he does have a bit of self-awareness on that. On the second verse, he does say we know this ain't shit. We know this is just kind of toxic. This is kind of fucked up. But it's our only way of finding some kind of escape in this dark time. So I do understand its place, but it just felt so fucking weird. And the beat was sleepy, the hook was terrible. Logout was a nice track. I liked how that track sort of seemed to deal with social media. Where he says on the hook, if you press logout, you get forgotten what's supposed to be a reminder of how boring our lives are. Posts on Twitter, they're just a reminder of how everyone's stuck in this boring, monotonous loop of social media.
What I was saying,
Yeah, so that's actually a thoughtful song, even though it's a very fun track with a really nice snappy beat, and Chance came through with a cool verse. And the hook is catchy. And it's a short, nice, concise track. Gray seems to be dealing with record labels. He says the best song's probably on the B-side, but the record label just wants to push the single.
Yeah.
The most honest, genuine track is probably left off. And I like how he said on the first verse, he ended it off saying, like, from the perspective of the record label, saying, like, because Sitter wants to be Walker, Walker wants to be Driver. No, that was the second verse, right? On the first verse, he says, sorry, I'm not going crazy right now. Yeah. On the first verse, it's like, Driver wants to be a Walker, Walker wants to be a Sitter. Like, and saying how the label wants you to be this, wants you to be that, like a drug dealer, a drug addict. Like, all these kids, like Lil Pump, they're all, like, on lean and shit, like drug addicts. And the record label wants you to go from, like, a driver to a walker, like, just get down, like, you know, just, like, succumb to the record label, like, make what we want to make. Whereas on the second verse, he says he wants to be a sitter to a walker to a driver. He wants to progress and grow as a musician. Which I thought was fucking brilliant. Got that. Yeah. Like, that was a great progression.
Sure.
That actually had substance. Like, this album is, like, honestly, I've seen a lot of people that don't like this album complain about it. Yeah. And I've seen, we're instantly like, you don't like this? What the hell's wrong with you? You're like instantly, but I understand though, jazz rap's not for everyone, but like look.
Sure, yeah.
The people that have said they dislike this album have said it's quite surface level and kind of bland and pretty just average jazz rap and not really all that interesting. I think this is it's not like super deep. I mean, you can pick it up, you know, it's not like fucking like Ace or Rock or something, but like,
sure, yeah.
This album is not, it's just a surface level listen. He's not just talking about like bitches and hoes all the time.
Exactly.
There's like a genuine message here, and that brings me to Prom King. And the final 2 tracks, which fully detail Walter. And with the first track, he's talking about going to prom. He, you know, wants to meet some girl. He finds someone, and they go to prom. Then he's like, oh, I don't know anymore, man. He just comes off like a vulnerable guy. But then he meets his date's brother, who threatens to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I'll kill you if you do anything like. And then he
decides not to tell Walter and shit. He decides not
to tell Walter because he knows that Walter will fuck him up.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then the details like how him and Walter are now like putting the past behind them and getting on the come up. He says like, I'm working on what about drop a tape? I'm working on bucket list like, and then he gets that call in the studio from Walter's mum saying, hello, have you seen him? Where is he gone? And then they try and find him like, we'll try and find you, man. We're doing this for you. And it's a beautiful, just like touching send-off for Walter, and you hear Walter at the very end saying, I just hope I make it to tomorrow. That's Walter's voice, which is so powerful. That is Walter saying that.
Damn.
That is so beautiful because
and then
Heaven All Around Me is all about a person ascending to heaven and not realizing they're dead. Like that's what the song's about. He's like yelling at my mother like, I know you hear me, I'm getting closer, is what it says at the beginning of the song. Like he thinks his mum can hear him. You know, he thinks he's still alive, but he realizes there's heaven all around him. It's such a brilliant send-off. I thought this album was really wonderfully crafted. Broken Girls was the only major slump for me.
Sure.
I mean, Life, it's a banger, it's hard, but the level of intensity he performs with is so perfect. Like, whenever the beat gets more intense, he does too. And it just perfectly matches.
Sure, yeah.
I have rambled like crazy. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think this album is great. My problems with the album, Broken Girls is a very weak song in my opinion. Smile has a bit of a weak chorus too, like smile, just repeating the title. It's kind of lazy. And in general, it's jazz rap. It's nice. There's nothing massively, amazingly exciting about it sonically, but the flows he uses are consistently varied. The vocal cadences he picks are always different. It always keeps as a rapper, he is very entertaining on this album. When it comes to just flows, deliveries, lyrics, he's constantly compelling. There's never a point where he's dull to listen to. And the beats he chose fit his style well. They sound nice. They are pretty typical average jazz rap. They're not really all that massively innovative, sure, which is a bit of a letdown. I would have liked it if he picked maybe a few beats that are just like more ambitious than the ones he chose here and there, sure. But they're never truly terrible. There's never not a single beat here that I thought was just straight up awful. The mixing can be a bit weird sometimes. Sometimes snares are really awkwardly loud and the kicks can be a bit odd. The mixing can be a bit dodgy sometimes too.
Yeah.
Generally though, this is a strong fucking 8. Great album. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, rap album of the year so far.
Yeah.
It's up there with the new Quelle Chris for me. Those are the top 2 rap albums of the year, in my opinion. This shit was great. I thought it was pretty fucking dank. So yeah.
Awesome.
Those are my thoughts.
Everyone liked it.
Yeah.
So,
9 to 8.5 to 8.
Hey, that was a downward fucking...
Yeah.
But still, we all enjoyed this. I thought this was pretty great. The more I sat with it, the more I sort of revealed and peeled away from this album. A lot to unpack here, and I'm still uncovering more things with each listen. And again, it's not super deep, but there is a lot of really nicely interweaving messages laced throughout this beautiful
exactly.
jazz rap album. 10 tracks, nice and concise, 42 minutes long. It's pretty.
If you haven't heard it yet, definitely.
Yeah, if you're a fan, exactly. If you're
plus, can I add like this like cliche thing that all YouTubers do?
Oh, what's that? What you got?
Please comment, like, and subscribe. No. But no, I was actually about to say.
What do you guys think of this album though? for real.
Yeah. Put your stick your opinions down in the comments.
I understand if you do think this is kind of
top three.
Marc Anthony Santana.
He said like it was just it was whatever. That's what he didn't really care for it like that. Because again, to be fair, there's nothing massively exciting about the sound of this album. It's just pretty typical jazz rap.
Exactly.
And some people that just doesn't stick out to them, which is
on the surface level. I can agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. But when I really sat with this thing, there was a lot to take away.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I'm definitely glad I gave this another few listens.
Otherwise,
I would have just kind of been like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I would have given it like a 6 or a 7.
Sure.
But like after listening to it like 8 times, I was like, yo, this album is actually really well crafted.
For sure. This is great, dude. For sure. And Saba has really proven himself with this thing. Because I mean, I think in the current wave of like these Chicago type rappers, Saba was like, okay, he's kind of taking the backseat. He's not really all that exciting to me until this album came out. Like Bucket List Project didn't really jump out and do that. So.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're all feeling good on this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Cardi B, we were it's whatever. But this one, we're a big fan of. Elliot wrote the 9 out of 10. I wrote the 8 out of 10. Lamar went in the middle. Fuck yeah, man. That was good. That was fun to talk about, man.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to the final project we're reviewing in today's episode. Let's go.
Alright.
Checked out the ending of the previous episode 3. We spun the wheel like we always do. We should get that up, by the way.
we can pause it after.
We'll pause it. We'll get the wheel up. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, the album that was suggested was from our very own Epsilon. The EP. It's 8 songs, 28 minutes. So I guess an EP. It's called The Other Day by a producer who goes by the name of Pomo. Don't really know much about Pomo. Do you have any background information you know about?
Not really. No, I just know he's a producer.
Yeah, where do you come across
fun sort of.
Yeah, where'd you come across the album? Yeah.
I was just looking at like Kate Tronada, and then on Apple Music you got this thing that you scroll to the bottom.
Right, yeah.
It just comes up with suggested albums. This came up and I was like, you know what? It's got Kate Tronada in it, so.
Sure, gotcha.
He's like my favourite producer, one of my favourite producers.
And you wanted to go last, didn't you?
I wanted to go last, yeah. So you guys.
Okay, who's going first?
Do what you gotta do.
I can go first if you want.
Lamar, fire away.
You cool with that?
Yeah, that sounds great. That'd be great. Yeah. Cool. What do you think, Lamar?
So,
Pomo's The Other Day.
Pomo The Other Day.
What we got?
For parties, this is probably like a 10 out of 10 for me.
Right, like a club type thing?
Yeah, but like for casual listens for it, I wasn't caring for it too much, if I'm honest. Like
I get that.
Yeah. So I kind of found something in this album which I thought was kind of clever.
Yeah.
And that's to do with like how it's structured. So from So Fine, it's kind of like that kind of introduction to the feel of the album. Kind of like
exactly.
If you imagine you started a house party and people are turning up, it's kind of got that starting party feel. And by distant
lover, you're having your like emotional talks about like girls.
By the last track, it's kind of alright. Grab your coats or you're just chilling down.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it is party music for me anyway.
Yeah, that honestly, when you just said that kind of changed my perspective on this whole album.
Really?
When you think about if you listen to this EP as if like it's the soundtrack to like a house party or something.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. But continue.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Which I thought was actually when I heard that I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is awesome if like you just sling it on in the background. But there were 2 songs that really stuck out to me.
Oh yeah.
That being, it was either Start Again,
right,
and On My Mind. Okay. It was probably track 3 to 5.
Okay.
Where the ones where I was just like, I like these.
All right.
Yeah.
But So Fine, How I Feel, Cloud Cruise, Back to You. They were kind of just like, they kind of just did the same thing over and over again.
You think so?
Yeah.
Alright, I disagree with you on one of those songs. But
but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Like this is great.
Positive experience overall.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool.
I feel like it's one of those albums, and there are a few albums that I like this, that I have to be in a very certain type of mood or doing a certain task at hand.
I feel you.
Because this music, I just get the most out if I'm, say, doing some graphics design, or
like doing something in the background,
or if I'm doing something like that's when I enjoy this music the most.
There's never really a time where it's like super cooling to you to go listen to it. Like,
right?
You just do it like when this Pomo
parties like house music and shit.
Yeah. I feel you.
So that's why I was saying at the start of the review, if it's at a party, this is like 10 out of 10. This is probably what I'd go to.
Sure, there's not really a single song that I think would not work in that context.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that makes sense.
But yeah, for me, it's like a mood-based album. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Pleasant time.
So what's your subjective score?
Subjectively, I'd say it's like a 7. It's good. Cool. It's good.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with this album at all.
Gotcha.
Sticks to a sound, bearing in mind.
Yeah.
And runs with it. But
it's not hugely diverse.
Yeah, it's not diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's got cool flips in it, cool samples. The Kaytranada track also is like lovely. Has definitely that Kaytranada edge to it.
Sure.
I think anyone can enjoy music like this, which I think is really cool because
this is pretty accessible.
Very accessible. 8 tracks, can't really go wrong.
Cool. Yeah, pretty trim.
Some
fun. So, that's it. So
I'm feeling a 7 on this, man.
Cool. So now it's my turn. Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. This fucking sucked. I did not like this at all.
This fucking sucked.
This was boring.
Okay, I was expecting you to say like
this was boring.
A 5 out of 10 or something, but
this was so unbelievably uncreative and drab. Nothing stood out on this thing except for I'd say Start Again and Back to You were the only two. Because Back to You, you said that was like just more of the same. That had a really interesting structure to it.
Oh no, those are the 3 songs I said I liked.
Yeah, you said Start Again On My Mind.
Yeah.
Right, Back to You, I thought that was the most interesting song on this album because it had a really interesting structure. It started off incredibly minimal and skeletal, like a little drum beat. It kind of lured you into this false sense of security. And then a weird synth just kind of popped in, and then like very shortly after, it just fucking exploded with this like... It had this like fucking sick melody.
Exactly.
I was like, that's actually really exciting. None of this album did that. It was just these boring synth fucking loops that had no personality at all, for the most part. The worst track, to me, was by miles the Kaytranada one. That was the worst. That was the worst track. That was the least interesting song. What happened in that song? Nothing. It was completely boring.
To be fair, it was very repetitive.
It's just boring. There's just nothing interesting happening.
Sure.
Kaytranada came along and added some kicks. Cool. He added nothing to the song. Like Kaytranada, he's a good producer, but he's kind of one note. He's good at catering beats to certain eyes. Like catering songs to certain beats on his album, like 99%, or 99.9%, sorry.
Yeah.
He's great at catering his instrumentals or his style to the certain artists that are featured on the album. Like Vic Mensa, the beat he made perfectly fit him. Anderson .Paak, same deal. I think he's good at working with people. But he works with Pomo here, who's also another producer. All he really added to the song was like, just like a few punchy kicks? Or some He was just like...
It felt like a very pointless feature, right?
There's nothing standout about that song. Kaytranada did not elevate it to any higher level. So
Pomo himself could have done that.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
And Pomo is just such a bland producer. Like, he's not ambitious ever on this thing. And he's never reaching to do anything interesting. It's just these dull fucking loops without much of a personality. So fine, how I feel. There's these little bass lines that are trying to...
Yeah.
It's just like, this is boring.
Okay.
What is interesting about this? I just don't get it. The song with Andrea Cormier, Start Again, I thought she brought a pretty cool flair to the song. Had a nice little atmospheric edge to it. They worked pretty nice together. On My Mind, I completely forgot. I don't know what that song was. Honestly, it's completely just blocked from my memory. Cloud Cruise... Bro, okay, you know what? Actually, this is the best way I can sum this album up. You ever play the game Ollie Ollie? Basically, Ollie Ollie 1, this sounds like the leftovers from the Ollie Ollie 1 soundtrack. Which sounds like leftovers from the Ollie Ollie 2 soundtrack.
I really like the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a cool soundtrack, but this sounds like leftovers from the Ollie Ollie 1 soundtrack.
Oh, right.
And the Ollie Ollie 1 soundtrack sounds like leftovers from the Ollie Ollie 2 soundtrack. so it's just like...
Inception, like...
Yeah. This album was just dull. It was just so refusing to do anything fucking good. It was just like, this is not entertaining to me. It was just not.
Cool. Yeah, I was...
Back to You and Start Again with the other one.
Kind of expecting you not to enjoy it.
Yeah, I give it like a 4.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's not impressive. Cool. I would not recommend it. If you're looking to go to sleep, then maybe...
I would, if you're looking to, party and shit.
Yeah, I guess it could work in that party environment, because again, this is kind of like repetitive, like little grooves, and people be like, this is nice and groovy, but for me, when I'm sitting down, just listening to this album, taking in the experiences I always do with music, I listened to this thing 4 or 5 times, not once did it click. It was just completely drab to me.
Sure,
so
yeah.
This is my least favorite album of... Cardi B's was better, so sorry.
Fair enough.
There was more interesting, exciting things happening on the Cardi Boy.
Yeah,
Cardi
disagree.
What was interesting? Explain to me. What was exciting about this album?
Okay, so
I have no clue.
From tracks 1 to 5.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, 1 to 6.
Yeah.
They're all just fun bangers, man.
And this is exactly how...
I don't know where the fun comes in, but...
Okay, fair enough.
It's fun, I just don't get it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just me, though.
Alright, so from tracks 1 to 5, it's... 6, 1 to 6. It's just like, they're just fun sort of bangers. Like, this is how I see trap to be for you guys. Like, you guys kind of like really enjoy trap and shit. I don't really get the same enjoyment out of it. You like your Lil Pumps and shit.
Lil Pump's not really trap, though.
Okay.
Like, trap is like Migos, or like young Dolph.
Okay,
like,
when I say trap, I mean like
rap.
any like little rapper, basically. Yeah. So it's not really trap, I guess.
Yeah, like, that music's fun, it's hype, it's exciting, to some degree. I'm not saying I like all trap music. I just like, I can appreciate a fun banger. But there's nothing fun or bangery about this album, it's just completely boring. Like, I don't...
Fair enough.
Nothing on this album bangs.
Alright.
Nothing is really...
Let me continue.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm real. I'm sorry for being so rude. Let me just...
that's...
I'm just like shitting all over this album.
But like,
interrupting you, I'm sorry, man.
Okay, so how I feel, that was just like a fun song, like with that sort of like groovy like bass line type thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nothing excited me about that.
You know. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun album, you know. It's not like one that you're gonna listen to and like really think about the lyrics. There are none.
There are no lyrics.
What did that kick mean? Why did he put it there?
Why did he put it in that exact position?
What did you say?
What did that kick mean? Why did he put it there?
What was the meaning of this kick? That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Yo, this snare was saying some really deep philosophical. Yo, that snare drum was like fucking woke, man.
He was telling the truth.
Yo, but did you listen to when the snare said?
Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, the seventh snare on Cloud Cruise fucking woke, man.
Yeah.
The CIA are gonna like destroy him because it's just too woke. He knows too much. Like,
Sure, like okay, but Start Again was like a really fun track to me.
That was nice.
Yeah,
that one actually had something. Had a personality.
Yeah, so that was all cool, and then like the drop comes in.
Yeah, I like that kind of plinky little melody that came out.
Yeah, it was just like that was like
that were genuine.
That was probably my favorite part of the whole album.
Sure. Yeah,
that was like that was
yeah
perfect to me. Just
that was like that had some interesting quirks to it.
You actually hang on, wait, you guys didn't talk about Distant Lover because that's most
dull as fuck. That was boring.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing interesting happened there, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. I feel you. That Cherry Funk, my second favourite track. I can see what you mean. It's got a very repetitive nature to it. This whole thing has. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. All of this sounds very similar. Yeah. But in cases like these, I really don't mind that. I really don't mind that at all. On My Mind was cool. It was like...
I forgot that song completely. I have no clue what that sounds like.
Yeah. I can't recall. It's not on my mind at the moment. Sorry, I need to stop.
Cloud Cruise was the most Ollie-ish song.
Yeah.
On the cob.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but you keep on saying it.
It's a game. Yeah, if you guys...
No, corn on the cob, like...
Oh, yeah, you said... What
does it mean? Explain to us what it means,
man. Lamar has just said corn on the cob, like, under his breath.
Like 70 trillion times. Like,
I thought you guys didn't notice, like...
That's the whole time you've been saying corn on the cob.
You just like...
people?
Corn on the cob.
What does that mean, though?
It means corn on the cob.
Like, so it's just like a random thing?
Yeah,
bro, it's just corn on the cob.
What were you saying? Where were you...
Alright.
I actually thought you guys didn't notice.
Yeah, I was picking up on it, man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I was really ready to read this. I said corn on the cob.
I'm listening carefully, man.
So yeah.
Every word.
Yeah.
Like every single word.
Every syllable, my guy. Every letter.
Inhales. I heard that.
Yeah, alright, no, for real, Elliot.
But yeah.
Continue.
So Cloud Cruise, Back to You. Yeah, a fun track.
Yeah, that was actually really interesting.
8 was... I didn't hate it. It was just there, you know.
Yeah, that was a weak closer, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
That was interesting to say.
It was the biggest change in the album, definitely.
Yeah, that was the most...
It was just like, what?
That was the most different song.
Wait, I don't really get what's going on here, man. This is weird.
It didn't work.
But anyway, yeah. I'm gonna give the score now. Sure. I'm gonna say a 6.5. So actually lower than Lamar.
More than he did. He suggested it.
I'm feeling probably a 6.5 on it.
Okay.
But I think
6 or 6.5.
It's not an exciting album. There's nothing like truly like memorable about it.
I think at the beginning when I first put it on here, I was like enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah.
But now coming back to it, it's still a fun thing to throw on.
Right.
In my opinion, like I think
it's just kind of shallow. There's nothing really memorable about it, you know. I mean, it's just another album that exists.
Yeah, sure.
It felt like an hour long to me, bro. It was such a bore. I just couldn't get through it.
It was...
I struggled. Yeah. That's why I listened to it like a few times compared to the other ones.
I'm probably feeling like a 6 on it, if I'm honest.
You can't just drop old school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to persuade you guys.
You can't
if you think a certain way about it, don't let me get... it's just what I thought. But, I just didn't care for it.
Yeah, I'd still stick by 6.5.
Gotcha. Right.
It was just like, it was.
Mm-hmm. It was just in your rotation.
It was great. It was not
it was
great.
in your rotation
it
at
was
the
like,
time.
It was just cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. It was like in your rotation at the time of we were doing the wheel. We were picking the suggestions.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
7's like high good, and this was like.
Yeah, 6 is like it's good, but not really for me. Like
yeah.
that.
No, 5's like averaged, and then.
Yeah, 5 is like just as good as it is bad, just average.
And then 6 is like good.
Yeah, 6
like,
is good.
6 is like, yeah,
the reason I would
like
say this is good is
6 and above is you like it. Yeah. Exactly.
The reason I say this is 6 is because it had 3 pretty cool standout tracks that differentiate like the whole thing, break it up.
Let me tell you a little something that I didn't tell you before.
Oh, what's up?
The times that I was listening to this was actually like before. Some of the times, it was like. Yeah, actually, maybe it was only once. But one time I was like listening to it before I went to a party.
Oh yeah.
And like.
Oh, that got you pumped.
Oh.
That gets you like really pumped. It's like dun, dun,
yeah, this
dun,
is
dun,
a very I guess
it's just like
danceable album.
It gets you in like it makes me in a really smiley mood.
Sure, yeah, honestly, the tone of this album is very light-hearted and fun. I guess.
Exactly.
So it's trying to like depress you, like a Haxi Crack album or something.
So yeah, the biggest issue I have with it is very repetitive, but the biggest strength is also it is repetitive.
Yeah, it's groove. Yeah, because you like the grooves, and you don't mind the grooves being repeated so much.
Yeah,
you think they're good, catchy, fun, enjoyable, danceable grooves. For me, these grooves are not interesting. They're just dull, so I don't like them being repeated. So there you go. That's where we differ.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's it then. 6. Oh no, 6.5, 6, and I'm 4. Yeah, alright, gotcha. Okay, so now we're going to spin the wheel and end off the podcast. Thank you for watching. If you've been listening and watching up until this point, you're the best. Really appreciate you.
Yeah,
you have you actually give a fuck about our thoughts and shit. That's really appreciate that, man. That's tight. But yeah, now we're gonna do the wheel spin again, and yeah, let's see what the result is. All right, see you in just a bit.
Splendor and Misery by Clipping.
Yeah, that was also you, right?
Yeah.
So yes. Alright, wait, where's the sound? Wait, hold on.
Oh, it's on the headphones.
Oh, wait, let's take a look. I like to have the sound play. Is this where's the headphones? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Keep spinning it. Keep spinning it. Click it again. Click it like.
Oh right, I see.
Keep spinning it. Quick.
Oh, it works like that.
Where's the sound though? I want.
No, hold on.
I want to hear the sound. I like it when you can hear the sound.
I'm working on that, right?
Are you working on that? Keep spinning it then. You gotta keep it. Hey, there it is. All right, turn that shit up. Wait. Cool. All right, now we're spinning. Wait, you're turning it.
My wheel is a bit.
This is a complete train wreck. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
We were not prepared for that. Jesus Christ.
My wheel. There you go.
There we go. You can hear that shit. All right, cool. Let's spin that shit. Okay, it's spinning now. Let's go.
All right.
Here we go. This is the one. This is the final spin. All right. Spinning now. Slowing down. Here we go.
It's gonna be a yellow one. It's gonna be on yellow.
Oh please.
It's gonna go on yellow.
Oh no way! Oh wow! Oh wow! Hey!
Hey, that was what I wanted.
That was what you wanted. Oh wow! You just said it too.
The one we got is
Clipping, Splendor and Misery will be reviewed in the next episode of Sloth Window Crest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
An album that you enjoy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah, man. We're going to talk about that shit, all three of us, in depth. Next episode, Clipping's latest album, Splendor and Misery, concept album about space and shit. It's pretty cool. Thank you guys again for watching. If you made it through the whole thing, you're literally the best, and I hope you get a really nice hug today.
Yeah, and corn on the cob.
And corn on the cob from Lamar. We'll get Lamar to hand deliver you some corn on the cob.
Yeah, and some rice.
And some rice.
And
very important.
IKEA
furniture. Wait, what? IKEA furniture? You just said IKEA furniture. What the fuck? That's hilarious.
Yeah, corn on the cob, dude.
Yeah, corn on the cob, rice, and IKEA furniture. That's the best meal in history. Dude. That's fucking god tier. That's insane.
That's the meal deal right there. That's a meal deal.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, that was probably the best part of the whole podcast.
The last 10 seconds.
That's fucking sick.
Alright, guys.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's actually end it now. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. That was good.